Hello, you're live with Archibald Chesterfield III, the governor's governor, the guru's guru, the pontiff. And it's time I wanted to share the awful, nasty fucking truth with you people. The honest truth with the wristwatch market in this country here. It is absolutely, what the fuck? It is an absolute disaster. Wristwatches selling secondhand wristwatches in Australia is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. And I got to tell you the truth there. The market has crashed. It is all over Red Rover. Secondhand watches are absolutely impossible to shift unless you're selling Rolex. It is next to impossible to move anything. This is the meanest, nastiest market I've ever seen. And at the moment there, I've got a few things on Gumtree. I've got a few things I've tried to sell on my channel. It is fucking bad. It's bad. And I gotta tell you, fuckers, this is the worst I've ever seen it. It's never been badder, nastier than this. Wristwatches on the second-hand market. The market has crashed. Now, to discuss this further, we've got Clyde. Hello, Clyde. How are you?
Good. How about yourself, Archie?
Terrible, terrible. The wristwatch market has crashed. I am unable to sell anything at a profit. It is terrible. The whole market has crashed. To give you an idea, the upper end, high-end Patek, high-end gold Rolex, next to impossible to move. I had my world time. I said that I would take 26,000 Australian for it. Okay, $26,000. Now, since I made that comment, the Aussie dollar has fallen. It's had a considerable loss against the greenback. And I gotta tell you, you know how many inquiries I have had? You know how many fucking inquiries?
No, how many?
Zero inquiries, because no one has 26,000 Aussie to spend. We're in a very depressed market at the moment. We've got the world is in it's in turmoil. So that's 19,200. That's the cheapest world time in the world. No bites, no inquiries. Now, jokes aside, the IWC Ingenua, which I'm trying to, it's all cool, it's all cool. Jokes aside, it's an absolutely top one. It's come back from an IWC service, full-length bracelet. It's as schmicko as they come. That was a 10,000 Aussie dollar watch. I'm trying to sell the fucking thing now. I'm trying to sell it, right?
Right.
And I was trying to make a couple $100 profit, right? As you do. Trying to sell it for about $4 US, no takers.
Well, of course you have to sell it for a profit. You're not a charity like Rolex.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Now the thing is, someone has said, "Oh, what you want? Had one cheaper." Actually, quite a reasonable dealer. I've never bought anything from him, but I've seen his listings. He's got good stock. Yeah, but mine's box and papers, and it's had a recent WC service.
Right.
I got to tell you.
Yeah, extensive service at that.
Well, it's a service. Well, just a service, and they replaced the bezel. The bezel. The bezel was replaced. The bezel. And I gotta tell you honestly, I think I've priced mine about the $4 mark. That's not ridiculous. That's not crazy. It's not crazy money, Clyde. And let me just show you, just to have a quick look here. I want to show this to you, Clyde.
Okay.
Here we go. There's 4. This is using Chrono 24. There's 4 of these bastards for sale. There's one for $39.50. There's one for $34.80. And so this is US dollars. I want 4 for mine. This one at $39.50. Let's have a look. That looks very nice. Only thing is, this watch does not come with box or papers. So I've got one with box and papers for an extra $50. Is box and papers worth $50 US? You tell me.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, I don't think it'd make, maybe not hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but watch for the IWC, which is probably not being scammed or faked that much. Yeah, Panerai, if it doesn't have watch and papers, you don't touch it. IWC should be fine, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, still, to have box and papers is better than not to have it. You know what I mean?
Well, right, and be owned by the pontiff as well. You think there'd be a certain intangible value attached to that?
It might be worth less, Clyde. Let's not push that one, okay?
Well, okay, I was trying.
Clyde, it is a terrible, terrible market. Let me just show you how bad it is here. I want to show you I just want to show you. So I think I've got mine at $4,000 with box and papers and a recent IWC service. That's a bargain. It's a bargain. If we look at Padex, World Times, let's have a look at this. Absolutely cheapest. So I want about 19 for mine, right?
Right.
Let's have a look at this, Clyde. 19 US. So we're going to search by price. Look at this, Clyde.
Okay.
Take a look at this. I am cheaper. 19, I'm cheaper than the Russians. And they're as dodgy as fuck. They are as good because they won't sell it. They won't ship it from Moscow. You've got to go to Moscow to actually. It's. I've never dealt with these Russians. I don't. All I know is I've been to Ukraine and they're nasty, vicious fuckers. They're nasty, foul fuckers. That's what they are. They're just. So I am selling probably the cheapest world time in the world. Okay, I am selling the cheapest world time. Not one inquiry. Not one inquiry. Not one inquiry, Clyde, at all. It gets worse. It gets worse. I had a Cartier New York 1960s, right?
Right. The tank one, I think.
Yep. And this is a special boutique. They want $6.5 US for it. And mine's the proper Audemars Piguet movement.
Right.
This here is just an ETA movement one. They want $6,500, and I've got mine three, Clyde. The market is very, 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 very bad. I'm thinking about just stopping at the moment, okay? I think it might be a good idea if I just stop. And
stop what?
Just stop the channel. Stop everything. Stop. Stop. What do you think?
Well, okay, keep in mind, we don't know what Google ad revenues are going to be, but they're still putting advertisements on the videos. I've noticed that, so they've got to have something coming in. And isn't something better than nothing?
I don't know, Clyde.
I think
I have
something.
no idea.
Would you rather me give you something for one of your watches or nothing for one of your watches?
Clyde, the market has crashed. The market is in the toilet. I'm also trying to sell a Breitling, no inquiries. I'm trying to sell a Deep Sea, you know, a Deep Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Just tire kickers, tire kicker central. So what's happened is, Clyde, let me explain to you what's happened. The market is so vicious now. You're not seeing bargains. The dealers aren't dropping the prices to clear the stock, which is what normally would happen in a free enterprise market economy. But in this Ponzi scheme of life, what's happened is the dealers are holding out. You only find out the market is tough when you try and sell something yourself. Do you understand?
Right. Well, then again, if the dealers lower their prices, that'll crush the market for everybody. If the dealers start discounting,
no.
So
what happens is when the market's tough in watches, they hold out. They won't discount much. They hold out, but the stock turnover is so much slower. That's what happens. The turnover, the stock rotation, the stock turn, you know, in the trade, it is very, very slow. The watch market has crashed. It is all over, Red Rover. If you're not selling sports Rolex, get out of the game. Get out of the game. It's sports Rolex. I mean, you know, this is the thing. Yes, it's very hot. There are some things very hot. Everyone wants a ceramic Daytona. Ceramic Daytona. Ceramic Daytona. They want that. They also want the new Sea Dweller. They want the Sea Dweller, the red Sea Dweller. Rumor is it's only going to be available in red for 1 year.
The 50th anniversary edition.
Who knows? They said the same thing about the green sub. You know, the Kermit, the original Kermit, that fucking lingered like a fucking infectious sore, a sore that doesn't heal, you know? Right. That didn't fucking go away. And I got to tell you, the honest answer is...
Let's not talk about the Panerai Bronzos. They screwed over people good and proper at those things. Limited edition bronze watches. And it's like, we're only going to make so many. Literally selling for 5 figures. And then a few years later, they released another bronze watch. But, it has a blue dial instead of a green dial. Man.
Yeah, let's have a look at that on Chrono. Let's have a look. So what model was that, Clyde?
I can't tell you the model number for Panerai. There's too effing many of them. Yeah, I think if you just looked under Panerai Bronzo. But the one I was going to make about used jewelers, though, keep in mind they do have a little bit of an advantage because they can take credit. They can offer guarantees. There's at least some sort of they do offer at least minimal servicing, at least a good thorough cleaning, if not a light polishing.
Here we go.
So of course,
yes, look at these bronzos here. They're all $20-something thousand. That is crazy.
Are they green or blue dial?
Green one. There's a green one. There's a few. $23,000. Fuck. That's amazing.
There are probably a lot. There are more than that until the blue dials came out.
I see blue dials. Here's one. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's a lot of money for a fucking Panerai. What makes it so special?
Well, because the bronze, it how no 2 pennies or 2 old pennies age the same. Bronze patinas differently. Each watch should be specifically different once it gets a little age on it, a little oxidation. But
bronze looks awful when it ages. Would you use some Brasso to clean that up?
You could, and it wouldn't harm the watch. But I don't think people would. But it's also kind of credited with...
You know why they don't make watches out of bronze and brass?
Why is that?
Because they fucking oxidize like shit. You know this? It's an ugly metal. It's ugly. It goes green. You know, that when it really oxidizes, it goes fucking green. You know this?
Let me put it this way. I spent quite a bit of time with Brasso and belt buckles and buttons, bronze buttons. So yeah, I'm familiar with oxidation of bronze.
And it's a real bitch, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Yep, it's even worse. It's even worse than polishing boots. But to go back to,
sorry, I don't know if I had that on the screen before. Did I share that on my screen? I don't think I did, Clyde. I'll bring it up there. These are these bronzos. It's here we go. Bronzo. Look at this. These are the bronzos. Dad, look at these things.
No
Cheap.
fucking what? No fucking way.
So how much were they at the peak?
Well, now keep in mind that 25, 26, but then they went up in price because they were in limited edition. We're only going to make so many of these things, and that's going to be it, guys. That's it. We promise. So, actually, people are during the Panerai boom. People they were selling for probably thousands of dollars more. They're not now. Did you keep it? John brought that up last night, and I did a little digging into Richmont's results. Holy crap! Their profits are down. Their profits are down 45%, 46%.
Yeah, the share price hasn't fallen that much. I think John was wrong there.
Actually, I read it had, and they've also laid off 300 people in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Bloomberg and New York Times basically quoted it as free fall.
Here we go. This is the Richmont share price. It's down 5%.
Okay.
It's not down 40%. The profit is down 40%, right?
Right.
But that's because there's no secret. The watch industry is in the luxury goods area is actually had a very big hit because of China. China's not buying like they used to. Anti-fucking corruption legislation. What the fuck are these nasty? It's Cartier's been very badly hit. Mont Blanc is very soft as well. And this is the brands: Cartier, Mont Blanc, IWC, Panerai, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Vacheron, Piaget, Lange & Son. Those are the brands, the key brands of Richmont.
I was also reading that Panerai, well, actually, Richmont's buying back a lot of excess stock from jewelers, trying to artificially restrict the supply.
Well, I've heard the same thing.
It's part of their Fonzie scheme.
They also are destroying stock. I don't know if you know this. Now, you might say, how could they destroy it? Well, they don't want it to be discounted, but they're not destroying it. What they're doing is they take the movements out. They'll reuse the movements. The movements are quite expensive. They're not going to smash the movements. They will just use those movements in a different piece. They're not going to throw them away. They might. The gold they'll reuse. It's all valuable stuff, you know. Don't get me wrong. Now, Clyde, it is a very bad market. The market has crashed. It is over. If you were selling, so let's just clarify this. If you were selling non-core, now when I say core, this is iconic watches. So I think the brands that will always sell, Rolex is number one. Yes, you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Except if it's a ladies. Ladies' pieces are very
poison.
Look, ladies' pieces, bitches don't buy their own watches, okay?
Nope.
The gifts from men. And as soon as things get tough, men stop buying them for the women. They'll buy them a tag or they'll buy them a cheaper watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And let's be honest, she probably prefers a $1,000 Louis Vuitton handbag instead of a $5,000 Rolex anyhow.
Or a dress and a pair of shoes.
The next thing is, so Rolex is still, you can sell Rolex. The exceptions are, of course, Polar Explorer 2 is very hard to shift.
I disagree. I see price on my end. Keep in mind, I kind of monitor at least secondhand sales around my area. I've cast a wide net, and you know, I got mine at the bottom of the depreciation curve. I can't I could probably turn around and sell mine now for $1,000 more than I paid for it.
Okay, how much?
But
Okay, how much did you pay for yours?
3,400.
Okay. I know dealers are buying them in America. I was talking to a good dealer. He buys them at 3. He's not paying more than 3. The dealers, of course, have got to make a profit.
Right.
The Milgauss White is also proving hard to sell. That's another one you've happened to have there.
Right. Woof, woof.
Woof, woof. So Rolex Steel Sports is fine unless it's a Polar or a white Milgauss, I think. Well, you're saying that the Explorer 2 is coming back a bit. Okay, thank you, sir. Omega, classic Omega will sell. Speedmasters.
You know, the funny part is I've only seen
Seamasters. Seamasters are dropping. Seamasters are dropping,
right.
But you know that.
Right.
Even the James Bond, the iconic Seamaster is dropping.
Yeah, but it's also a little bit dated too with the new ceramic one that's coming out. That's going with head to head with the ceramic Submariner though too.
Omega's had too many Planet Oceans. Now, so some Omega is okay. The Speedmaster, Man on the Fucking Moon, the classic iconic ones will always sell. Agreed?
Agreed.
I tell you what, brands are very soft. Jaeger-LeCoultre is incredibly soft now. Unless it's a cool Reverso, it's still the whole brand is soft. Panerai, incredibly soft. Would you agree with that?
Comparatively, yeah. Keep in mind, I'm coming onto Panerai pretty late in the game, but what I was able to score my 0 for, that was dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. A little bit of luck involved.
Panerai is very hard to move, very soft, very, very soft. And as you said there, you've got to have box papers, everything, because there are so many fakes. That's Panerai. What other brands? IWC is incredibly hard to shift. You can see with my example there. I mean, I know I've kind of joked around with it and said, this and that. And, you know, I've kind of joked around a bit, but it's still a fucking cool, it's a cool IWC.
Right.
No nibbles. No nibbles. Nothing. Clyde, not a fucking brass razoo. Very nice two-tone there, sir.
Gold nipple dial.
Nipple dial. I love my nipples. I love nipples, don't you?
Of course.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Clyde, I got to tell you.
But even these have gone down a little bit. Nipples are dropping.
What's that? Put it up. I can't see it. Put it up a bit in the middle of the screen. Yep.
Yeah, they're drooping a little bit.
Now, Clyde, I got to tell you, I think anything Grand Seiko would be hard to shift as well. That's a brand that's always a bit borderline. I would also say brands like Breitling, the big Breitlings are going to be very, very, very. I've got a big Breitling Chronomatic. Fuck me dead. That thing, Clyde, that is impossible to sell. Absolutely impossible to sell. And that's a big money watch. You know what I mean or not, Clyde?
Yeah, for people that don't know any, well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, it's not a cheap watch.
That's a bit nasty, Clyde. I don't think it's that bad, do you?
Well, okay, it's not like the IWC. It doesn't have the brand presence as the other brands do. And
yeah, look, Breitling is still, I got to tell you, it is a very popular brand in the UK market. IWC is popular with the German market because, see, IWC is near, you know, it says IWC Schaffenhausen. That's right. The Swiss part that's near Germany. You understand, don't you?
Right.
Very tough. IWC is incredibly hard. I tell you what's impossible to sell. Cartier. Anything Cartier is fucking impossible. Fucking impossible. Now, I've got a vintage Cartier. Ladies, that's a little bit different. That's because that's a vintage Cartier. That's hard to sell because it's fucking ladies, okay? That's why that's hard to sell. But I gotta tell you, fucking tell you, Clyde, the market has crashed. It has crashed, okay? The market is all over Red Rover. It's crashed. It's crashed. Do you understand? It's over. The market is fucked. It's fucked us.
Okay,
it's
let me take an opposing viewpoint. It's fucked if you're selling. If you're buying, it's freaking wonderful, especially if you're getting it from individuals. Doing oil pass hunting in Dallas, and well, you know, we talked about the sub last time. I'm getting them dirt cheap down there. It takes a little bit of finagling. It takes a little bit of driving, but
let me show you something. I'll show you something. You know, I don't know if you've heard of this lady, one of your type, Clyde. Look at this. This is it's a Jackie Kennedy Cartier tank.
One of my type? I'm red dirt white trash. Kennedy, please.
She's a Democrat. You're a Democrat.
Yeah, but she's like damn near royalty in this country, or used to.
I know. Well, look at this. Her Cartier tank is coming up for auction.
Right.
It's a tank. It's a Cartier New York tank, just like mine. That's her there. She was a good-looking woman, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, first class all the way.
And
of course, she'd appreciate a good tank watch. You know, the importance of riding around under armor. She probably, well, what, too soon?
You gonna tell you something? Can I just show you this here? Can you see this watch here?
No, I just see your avatar with circles bouncing off when you talk.
Oh, fuck. How about now?
Nope.
You can't see. What can you see now?
I can see you, an older picture with a yellow tie, wearing a watch. And circles bouncing when you talk.
How about now? What about? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. That's how I respond to your questions. Oh, there you go. Now I see you.
Okay, just look at this. I want you to look at this watch. Can you see this watch?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's the most expensive Rolex that's ever sold at auction. It belonged to the last Vietnamese emperor.
Wow.
Here's a bit of gossip for you. You know the bracelet that's on this watch?
Okay.
My dealer friend supplied it.
To the last Vietnamese emperor.
No, he sold it to the guy who owned this watch. He's a very rich businessman in Sydney who owned this watch. And my friend sold the gold Jubilee vintage bracelet to him.
Right.
It's a 1950s watch, and it's a one-off. This is the Rolex Moon Phase with diamond dial.
Incredible.
It belonged to Bao Dai, Vietnam's last emperor. It's a 6062. So that's my claim to fame. I actually know the dealer who sold that. That's the guy I got my Calatrava from. He sold that bracelet to that guy, and the watch sold for $5 million. He didn't get $5 million for the bracelet. I think the bracelet was $10,000 or $20,000. It wasn't. But anyhow, that's his claim to fame. Now, Clyde, I got to tell you, the whole wristwatch market is fucked unless you are dealing. So basically, Rolex is pretty safe. Certain Omegas, like the classic iconic Omegas, the Speedmaster is safe, but the Seamaster has flopped. The Seamaster has fallen through the floor. The Planet Oceans, too many variations, too many of them.
Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking Rolex would be in a probably in a better position to be the last man standing than everyone else, just from the way they're organized. They're not a publicly held company. They're a privately held company. The only people they have to refer to is the trust. Therefore, while everyone else is posting record losses, Rolex can just simply stand there and keep its mouth shut, quietly rope supply back in, keep inflating the prices like they have been, and just wait it out. Wait for the market to turn around.
Yes. Now, Clyde,
what
I
they
would
could
like
simply, to keep the dealers alive, what they could do is, I was noticing a couple of videos how they're trying to become more and more restrictive with its dealers. And all they could do is just simply ease back on the restrictions and allow the dealers to sell other brands again. That way,
Clyde, I would like to start another video where we talk about this, okay?
Okay.
We're going to call it the Rolex Ponzi scheme. Because
Sounds
that's
good.
what it is. So let's end this. The wristwatch market, just for anyone who's watching, has crashed. Very tough to sell secondhand wristwatches.
So it's your pronouncement that the wristwatch market is PHUCKED.
Yes, it is absolutely fucked. It is fucked. It's fucked. And it's because of China. We've also got the Europe with the Euro, Brexit. We've got America with Trump. Trump, unfortunately, has not been I think it's still a lot of unanswered questions there. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. Wristwatch market has crashed. My advice honestly is, if possible, get out. Get fucking out. Get out of the market. If you've got a lot of stock, get out. Okay?
GTPHO?
Yep, just get out. But in many cases, you're not going to realize high prices. It's completely... So let's do another video. Let's cut this here. Ponzi scheme video.